Hello everyone, I am Abigail E. Sestona. We will tackle about the audiolingual method together with my partner, Miss Sharifa Datumaas. Let us know first the background of the audiolingual method. So the approach developed by linguists at Michigan and other universities which became known various as the oral approach. The oral approach and the structural approach advocated oral training first, then pronunciation training, followed by speaking, reading, and writing. So the oral approach and the structural approach advocated first in oral training, then pronunciation training, followed by speaking, reading, and writing. In the mid-fifties led to the method that came to be known as audiolingualism. Audiolingualism, the term was coined by Professor Nelson Brooks in 1964, claimed to have transformed language teaching from an art to a science which would enable learners to achieve mastery of foreign language effectively and efficiently. The theory of language underlying audiolingualism was derived from a view proposed by American linguistics in the 1950s, view that has come to be known as structural linguistics. Structural linguistics developed in part as a reaction to the traditional grammar. Structural refers to three characteristics. First, elements in a language are thought of as being linearly produced in a role governed in a structured way. Second, language samples can be exclusively described at any structural level of description, which are phonetic, phonemic, morphological, and others. Linguistic levels are thought of as system within systems, that is, as being pyramidally structured. Phonemic systems have led to morphemic systems, and these in turn have led to the higher level systems of phrases, clauses, and sentences. Out of these various influences emerge a number of learning principles, which have become the psychological foundations of audiolingualism and have come to shape its methodological practices. Among the more central are the following: foreign language learning, language skills, analogy, and the meanings. Foreign language learning is basically a process of mechanical habit formation. Good habits are formed by giving correct responses rather than by making mistakes. Language skills are learned more effectively if the items to be learned in the target language are presented in spoken form before they are seen in written form. Analogy provides a better foundation for language learning than analysis. The meaning that the words of a language have to for the native speaker can be learned only in linguistic and cultural contexts and notice isolation.
Audiolinguism is a linguistic or structure-based approach to language teaching. The starting point is a linguistic syllabus which contains the key items of phonology, morphology, and syntax of the language arranged according to the order of presentation. The language skills are taught in order of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Listening is viewed largely as a training in oral discrimination of basic sound patterns. Dialogues and drills form the basis of audiolingual classroom practices. Dialogues provide the means of contextualizing key structures and illustrate situations in which structures may be used, as well as some structural aspects of the target language. Dialogue used for repetition and memorization, correct pronunciation, stress, rhythm, and intonation are emphasized. After a dialogue has been presented and memorized, specific grammatical patterns in the dialogue are selected which become the focus of various kind of drills and pattern practice exercises. The use of drills in pattern practice is a distinctive feature of the audiolingual method. Various kind of drills are used. Brooks 1964 156 to 161 includes the following. The first is repetition. The student repeats a new utterance aloud as soon as he has heard it. He does this without looking at the printed text. Sound is as important as form and order. For example, this is the seventh month. So the student will repeat what he heard. So this is the seventh month. So the second one is inflection. One word in a new utterance appears in another form while repeated. For example, he bought the candy. So the word he is replaced with the word she, which makes it different form. So she bought the candy. The third one is replacement. One word in a new utterance is replaced by another. For example, Helen left early. The word Helen is replaced she, so she left early.
The fourth one is restatement. The student rephrases an utterance and addresses it to someone else according to instructions. Examples: tell him to wait for you. When rephrases and addresses it to someone else, it becomes wait for me. Another example is ask her how old she is. When rephrases and addresses to someone else, it becomes how old are you?
The fifth one is completion. The student hears an utterance that is complete except for one word, then repeats the utterance in completed form. So for example, I'll go my way and you go. So the students are required to fill in the blanks with the suited word to complete it. So I'll go my way and you go yours. The sixth one is transposition. A change in a word order is necessary when a word is added. So for example, I am hungry, so the added word there is so. So it will become so am I.
Expansion. When a word is added, it takes a certain place in this sequence. Examples: I know him. The added word is hardly. It becomes I hardly know him. Next example is I know him. The added word is well, so it becomes I know him well. Construction. A single word stands for a praise or clause. Examples: put your hand on the table. So in a phrase or clause, put your hand there. Next example: they believe that the earth is flat. So in a phrase or a clause, they believe it. Transformation. A sentence is transformed by being made negative or interrogative or through changes in tense, mood, voice, aspect, or modality. Examples: he knows my address. When a sentence is transformed by being made negative or interrogative, does he know my address? He doesn't know my address. Integration. Two separate utterances are integrated into one. Examples: I know the man. He is looking for you. So by integrated into one, I know the man who is looking for you. Rejoinder. The student makes an appropriate rejoinder to a given Athens. Examples: thank you. You're welcome. May I take one? Certainly. He's following us. I think you're right. Situation. The student is given a sequence of words that has been called from a sentence but still hears its basic meaning. Examples: students waiting bus. In a sentence, the students are waiting for the bus. Noam Chomsky The MIT linguist rejected the structuralist approach to language description as well as the behaviorist theory of language learning. According to him, sentences are not learned by imitation and repetition, but generated from the learner's underlying competence. That would be all for our topic. Thank you for listening.